Welcome to Homegrown Wealth, where you get the knowledge to help you build wealth through home ownership. In today's episode, we're going to discuss interest rates, the hottest topic out there. Interest rates are one of the biggest factors when it comes to affordability in 2025. We'll break down where rates stand, where they're predicted to go, and how you can position yourself to win, whether you're buying or selling. If I had a dollar for how many times people ask me about interest rates, and I get it, they are a really big factor when it comes to affordability, when it comes to purchasing a home. And I know a lot of people have regrets on missing out between the years of 2019 and 2021 when rates were low. But I want you to know that interest rates are just one part of the equation when it comes to housing affordability. And the good news is they're coming down. So let's get into it. So this is the rundown. Where do rates currently stand today? So as of today, which is my filming day of November the 11th, per Google, rates right now on a national average are somewhere between a 6.3 and a 6.5, and that is on an FHA, conventional, and a VA loan. Now, what will future rates look like? They're predicted to come down, and next year we may see some into the fives, maybe a little bit lower as the Feds meet and determine whether or not they want to continue to drop interest rates. So I definitely will be keeping you posted, so definitely make sure you check back in with this channel. Now, how can you win with rates? So as a buyer, I always encourage them to determine what's more important. Is it a lower interest rate, or is it that you're getting most of your needs met with maybe some of your wants with going into a home? If rates are important, there are certain builders who are offering really great incentives right now when it comes to rates. They have a locked in 4.99. Some may offer a flash of a 3.99 rate for 30 years. Also the 4.99 may be for 30 years. Some are offering a 2-1 buy down. So there's different options if the rate is really the main driving cause. Now, if the rate is not the main driving cause, then let's take a look at what you can actually afford, and let's really hunker down in your price range and make sure that we're paying attention to, do you need 3 bedrooms or do you want 4 bedrooms? What are you really needing? Is it more of yard size? Is it more of square footage? Let's make sure that we're shopping smart and we're really paying attention, so that way we're not missing out on great homes that you probably would have looked over because you're basing it off your wants and not your needs. Now, sellers. Right now with rates, it does make it to where at certain price points, it may be a little expensive. So you have buyers coming in and they're looking at your home, and they are just calculating up how much they may have to do once they get in there. So having your home ready for a new buyer is really the optimal thing right now. You want to make sure you have fresh paint, it's clean, it's decluttered, staged beautifully. That way they're coming in and they're getting a sense of home. They can feel themselves inside the home. Curb appeal needs to be up to par. Manicured lawns, we need to make sure that touch-up paint on the outside is fresh. So that way your house stands out when it hits the market and you're not having to sit. And also making sure that you have a great pricing strategy, because overpricing right now is deadly and you don't want to gather too many days on the market. When it comes to interest rates, just know it's one part of the equation, but it's not the entire part of the equation when it comes to purchasing. Let's get into our Q&A. The first question, how do I know if I have a good rate? I'll say this, it depends. It depends on the time period that you bought your house, on what the rates were at that time. If you can afford your payment, if you're comfortable with your payment, you have a good rate. That's all that I can say. Now, if you have a rate that is higher and there are rates that come about that are lower, you can always look into refinancing into a lower rate. If you're wanting to do, say, some projects and pull some money out, you can always do a cash out refi and see what the rate is on that as well too. But a good rate is really just what you determine a good rate to be. The second question, how can I lock in a rate if I don't see anything that I want to purchase just yet on the market? So typically, you cannot lock in your rate until you have a contract for a home. Now, certain lenders may offer programs to where they let you lock in a rate in advance. Not every lender offers that. I know of maybe one or two But I would say typically, if you really want to take advantage of great rates and you know the rates are low, you have to be very serious when it comes to buying. So the quicker you get a contract, the quicker you get to lock in and take advantage. All right, so now we're going to talk about our history note. So this episode's history note is very eye-catching. Because of the record low interest rates that we had during 2019 and 2021, mortgage rates are all the talk in real estate these days. But what was the record high? So, the record high that was recorded was in 1981, which peaked at 16.64%. The lowest rate ever recorded was a 2.96 in 2021. I feel like I've heard of a lower rate than 2.96 in 2021. I feel like in that time period I've heard of maybe a little bit less than 2.96. But I digress to say, while 2025 interest rates are higher in recent years, they're still lower than what most of the rates were in the 1970s, the 1980s, and the 1990s. Now, that's not to say that home values were not where they are back then, where they are today. So that does play a major difference between rates being lower and home prices being at least 3 times higher than what they were a decade ago. So we have reached the end of the episode, and I definitely want to give you some tips to take away. So let's talk. 1, rates right now as of the current day of November the 11th of 2025 per Google is anywhere from a 6.3 to a 6.5. 2, we can't predict the future. We don't know if rates are going to go down or if rates are going to go up. Now, analysts are saying that they are predicting them to go down and that they will reach the 5s. How soon that will take place in 2026, we do not know. It could be at the start, it could be in the middle, or it could be towards the end. If you're serious about buying or selling, I say let's get together, let's discuss your goals, get with the lender, and let's talk, and let's see from there what makes sense as far as a monthly payment for you. And 3, when buying or selling, you buy what you can afford under current conditions. If you're a seller with a well-maintained home, buyers are going to want your home. They have options right now. So what makes your home desirable? What makes your home stand out? Thank you for watching this episode. If you know someone who has been stressing about interest rates, please send them this video so that they can gather the knowledge they need so they can go ahead and move forward with either their home selling or home buying journey.